Hello and welcome to another TCB podcast on the World Cup. I hope you haven't been enjoying the World Cup, and of course we are joined by Jake today as always. Hello Jake.
Yes, very happy for another podcast right in the middle of the World Cup, right in the middle of the Denmark-Croatia match at the time when we're filming this. Very excited.
I'm going to start with a quick fact. Yes, nice little fact here. Apparently, Emil Heskey has scored more World Cup knockout goals than Messi and Ronaldo combined.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Shocking. If I was Messi right now, I'd just retire from everything. From Barcelona, from Argentina, I'm done. Be like, no what?
I'm done.
If Heskey knew it like that, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? Heskey is the greatest footballer of all time. Yeah, he scored that goal in the 2002 World Cup in a 3-0 victory over Denmark. Yeah. But yes, we'll talk a bit about Messi and Ronaldo a bit later. But to start this podcast, we're going to go through a bit of quick round questions. Not quiz style, just kind of questions about the World Cup. So I'm going to start by asking you what you think the best goal has been at the World Cup so far.
Best goal. I didn't watch it live, but I tell you what, the Di Maria goal, very, very good.
It was.
Oh, I know my best guy. See, I don't know whether this may be like also of everyone. I think other people have different opinions.
Yeah.
But was it the Nacho goal for Spain?
Oh, the Nacho goal against
the one when
Portugal.
When he comes out sort of the edge of the air and he hits it and it slices across his body.
Yeah, and
it
like straight.
It.
Yeah. And
that's my, like, for me, that takes the most skill to pull off that.
Yeah,
I think free kicks, people could do that with practice, but that is so unpredictable. I think that was incredible.
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal. I mean, I've gone for a very similar goal in style. It was the Pavard goal for France against Argentina. And I thought that was just absolutely brilliant. I think it was after the Di Maria goal. And it was very similar to the Nacho goal, but I think he was a bit more kind of unique in the fact that he was, I think he's a left back or a right back, and he's only 22 years old, playing for Stuttgart a few seasons ago in like the Bundesliga 2, and to score a goal like that it make it be a first goal for France, it's just wow. And that was the equaliser, and it turned the game around for France. And I think just the whole goal and everything surrounding it, that was just brilliant. I celebrated like mad. It's like, whoa, what a goal. But yeah.
It was good. Mm-hmm. Thought that was really good. That was a good shout.
Anyways, on to our next question. What was your best match so far?
Ooh, best match. Well, I think England-Panama's up there, being 6-1, massive victory, Kane getting a hat-trick. I think that might be it for me. I think like overall in the tournament, I'm not sure. I think I'll go England-Panama. I think that's I'm just looking because I've got a wall chart, my wall 30 now, and I use that as a reference a lot just in case I get any big games. But no, I'm going to go England-Panama. What are you, Sam?
Well, I missed the Panama-England game, as have I missed all the England games so far, apart from the Belgium match. So,
that's appalling.
Yeah, I've caught the last 20 minutes of most of them, apart from the Panama match, and I watched the whole of Belgium one, but we lost, of course, the Belgian one, so maybe I'm a bad omen. But I'm going for the Iran-Portugal game, just for the kind of the pure drama surrounding it with the VAR. It was just such a crazy match, a match that Iran could have won and gone through it with. But I mean, they did draw 1-1, and it was just amazing because Ronaldo could have got sent off in the end, and the referee made the game. I mean, the football was good, but you have to say, I think the VAR made it a bit more entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think I'm actually going to change what I said. I'm actually going to go for the Spain-Portugal game, the same game I said my goal from. So I literally went watching that, and I thought this seems to be best. After it, I said to my friend, this seems to be best World Cup game I've ever watched. I've watched finals and things like that. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was. It was just kind of a pure display of football, and both teams weren't scared of each other. And that's because we often see kind of defensive football at the World Cups, but I think that game and other games have shown that this World Cup has actually been brilliant for attacking football, and that 3 game was just one to go down in history, really.
Mm.
So our last kind of quick fire question is, what has been your worst moment of the World Cup so far?
What, is that me personally, or sort of, I don't know, like a team playing poorly?
Maybe a moment that you've seen in the World Cup, or you watched, or maybe something happened to you while you're watching a game, and that's been your worst moment. Oh, just anything surrounding the World Cup, really.
That's it for me. Well, I think in terms of the team performances, I think Korea beating Germany 2-0 was a pretty crazy one. My possible worst one. To be fair, basically, when I watched the England-Panama game, I was actually in Turkey. We went to sort of Turkey pub, and a lot of them were closed down because they had a big election day. The signal, obviously, it's a bit dodgy signal there. They got this sort of the area, the signal kept cutting out. They cut out during half times, it didn't matter, and then it started cutting out during the game. And like we had a shot, and it cut out, and it was a bit like when Gerrard scored against USA, and it was like a ITV did a break thing. It was a bit like that. It just sort of like cut, and I was like, "Oh my god, almost a goal." I did it in the end, but no, it cut out a lot during that second half. And I think that was my worst experience. Just because people I could just watch it, like no out cutting out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That must be horrible. It must have been horrible. My worst moment has been on the pitch with Japan versus Poland. I sat down to watch Japan versus Poland for the second half, thinking it might be a really good, entertaining game because I think what group is it? It's Group H. Looked to be a really entertaining kind of end to it, with almost all the teams being able to go through apart from Poland. But the way it planned out, because Senegal were losing to Colombia, Japan only needed to kind of lose by less than 1 goal to go through, and because Poland had already scored that 1 goal, Japan just kind of stopped playing and made sure that they kept the clean sheet. But what was even more odd, because Poland had already got a goal and were thinking, at least we've got 1 win at the World Cup, they also just stopped playing. And basically what happened for the last 10 minutes of the game, the players were just passing it around with each other. And at the end, someone got injured, someone was pretending to be injured just to get a player onto the pitch from a sub. And it was just weird. The referee was saying carry on, basically saying play on, and it was just kind of not what we want to see at a World Cup, really.
No.
Because Japan ended up going through on the disciplinary record. Yeah, so that was a weird match and probably the worst moment. But other than that, I've been absolutely loving it, and I've been loving Japan playing as well. So, but yeah, that's kind of our quick fire questions done. Unless you have any kind of quick fire questions, Jake.
Yes. Have I got any?
Yeah.
I think an interesting to see what is your, I know it's a classic sort of underdog, but in the other way, what has been what are you not surprised about? So I know everyone's talking about sort of what your underdog is, who do you think is doing better than expected, but who do you think literally how you thought?
I think that I'm not surprised that Uruguay are performing so well. I think,
really?
I honestly think that people kind of always underrate them at World Cups, thinking, it's just Uruguay. They'll probably get to the last 16 and go out or something. And they've got a few good players like Suarez and Cavani, but that's it. But they've done so well this World Cup so far, and they look to be one of the sides to beat, because you see big teams faltering. And you could class Uruguay as a big team, and they're not faltering. And they got the likes of Godin and Jimenez at the back. That's one of the world's best centre-back pairings in the world. It's just because they play at Atletico Madrid, so automatically they have this kind of relationship and know where they are on the pitch whenever they are kind of having to defend. And also they've got 2 great strikers. That kind of combination, for me, seeing it before the World Cup, just automatically showed me that Uruguay are going to go far. So that's why I'm not surprised that they've beat Portugal, the European champions, and they've managed to get out of their group easily without conceding. So I'm not surprised by Uruguay at all.
True. I was actually about to cut in and just say that they've only conceded 1 goal in their 4 games so far, obviously keeping all clean sheets in the group stage, and when it came to games like Russia, people thought, Russia might do all right, obviously getting that 5-0 win against Arabia and beating Egypt 2-1. and then they just go into the rush again and win them 3-0. And it's like, what's happened there then? And it's just crazy. And
yeah.
For me, in terms of who I thought would sort of do as well as I thought, I'm sort of looking at and thinking about like my prediction and talking about it before. I'm not really. I think Switzerland. I think a lot of teams have surprised. Well, I think a lot of teams that I'm looking at, they've all not done as well as I thought, or all done slightly better. And I think out of all of them, actually Switzerland done, because I remember when they would do it right against Brazil, possibly get a draw, and they did. And then I also thought that they would beat Serbia, and then I thought they would sort of struggle on the last day and get a draw against Costa Rica, and they did. And sort of getting into the round of 16 against Sweden, they made. I think they got a very good chance to progress into the quarterfinals. Fingers crossed England might even get there as well. But yeah, I think Switzerland got quite a good team, and I think did you hear that controversy about the with Shaqiri and Xhaka with their celebration?
Yeah, I saw that as well. I think I don't know. I'm not going to comment too much, but I think politics. Yeah. It doesn't have a place in football, but sometimes, yeah, I'm not going to say a lot, but yeah, I think I'm glad they weren't kind of banned for the next match because that would have been a bit too harsh. But
I think there's got to keep them to apart, to be honest.
Yeah. But with Switzerland, I really don't think. I didn't think they'd do so well. I thought they looked like a poor side. I know they've done really well in qualification, but apart from kind of like Xhaka and Shaqiri, there's not a lot of big names in there, and I know you shouldn't kind of base your kind of estimates of a team depending on how many big names they have. Because just look at kind of Portugal; they only have one big name, but they won the Euros. But I think the Switzerland side have overachieved in my books, and I'm surprised that you're not surprised that they've done so well. But yeah, it's an interesting one that actually.
Well, because you look at some of it, like they've got Jan Sommer goal. I think the Bayern Leverkusen, and he does very well for them. They've got like Liechtensteiner right back. They've got Rodriguez, the Wolfsburg fullback. The likes of like Bolo, who's quite good as well. The striker, I always fail to remember his name, like Stefanovic or something. He's quite good aerially. Who's in midfield? Is it like Rami?
Yeah. They do. Thinking about it, they do have a lot of talent. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I've not really looked at them a lot, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how far they go because they've got an interesting tie with Sweden, and they're two sides that we wouldn't kind of expect to be getting to a quarterfinals, but they both have the chance to, and that's actually brilliant because I think this World Cup, I really want someone that hasn't won it before to win it, or someone that wasn't the favourites to win it. I mean, of course, maybe I want Brazil to win it out of all the favourites, but it'd be interesting to see someone else win it, wouldn't it? Sorry, we just had a bit of technical issues there. We were just talking about Switzerland, weren't we? So I was about to say that Switzerland have an interesting tie against Sweden in the last 16, and they're two sides that we don't normally expect to kind of be in the last 16, in the quarterfinals, but they both have a chance to be, and it'd be interesting to see if either side can kind of progress beyond that, and it'd be interesting to see if maybe you could have a different winner of the World Cup, wouldn't it?
Would be nice.
Anyways, on to our kind of discussion now. Our first topic is VAR, a topic that we love here at the commentary box, apparently. Because, of course, VAR has been introduced into this World Cup, and it has been used fairly successfully over its period of use. And I think it's been actually very good for the game. And a lot of people share that opinion, but a lot of people don't. What about you, Jake?
I agree. I remember when it first came out, I thought great. I thought, so to help the referees out, I think just follow the TMO of the sort of rugby, things like that. I was like, it just helped a lot. It is a really good idea. It did come in and there was some trouble, but I just think people are going to give things time. I remember you mentioning like it takes a while to settle in, and I think it is working successfully, and it's just going to still take time to get used to it. And obviously, and if we use it efficiently, not for long, I 100% would back it. I know it's been ruled out against using in the Premier League next season, the club's voted on it. But, fingers crossed it does help, because it is an important factor. And, the first couple of seasons it may be overused, but I think in a couple of years' time, if we keep with it, it's going to be really, really good. It's just going to improve the quality of the game, I think.
Yeah. I think with the VAR used in England, it's been really unsuccessful, and I don't know why that is. Like, watching FA Cup matches where VAR is in use, it does not look nowhere near as good as what it's been looking like at the World Cup. Because at the World Cup, you do know when the referee's kind of checking VAR, because they go up to their ear and they kind of hold play. But in the FA Cup, they didn't do that. They were kind of secretive looking at it. So at least we have a bit of knowledge, and I think that was one of the issues with it. But also, you get to watch it on the TV, what they're looking at most of the time, which is actually really good, because then you can see it as well. And I think if the FA can adopt that system, it works really well. And I think it also adds to the drama. I know it's kind of a bit artificial drama, but it's cool, because penalties in the last minute that might not have been given are being given, and changing games completely and making new stories and new storylines, which is just absolutely brilliant to watch.
Yeah, I think it was the Spain one today. It wasn't the one that when Piggy handballed it. There was another one later in the game where Ramos tackled to the ground, and that's what it looked like at first, and it did go to VAR, and in the end it did look a bit, it was unsure, and it wasn't very clear. The referee decided, I'm not going to give it, and it was a good example where saying people get fouled in the box and they use VAR, and everyone's like, yes, VAR, we got a penalty, but no, it is very, if they're unsure, they're not going to give it. It's not just going to be given, you're not always going to get those last minute penalties like you're saying, but then you do when they're deserved and they're good, because it's not a matter of giving penalties. What people look about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry, we're just having a bit more technical difficulties there, but the question I was going to ask you, Jake, before the internet kind of crashed, not the whole internet, was that how referees should be using VAR not as kind of feeling pressure to use it, but as a guide to help them, and I think that's what it's there to be used for. And would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I don't see it as quite confusing how I was saying it earlier. I don't some people see VAR as they're just giving you right decisions, but sometimes they just sort of reassure the referee he's got it right. For example, in the game today, Ramos sort of got taken to the ground, but when you looked at VAR, Ramos went over so easily, but the referee was unsure, because he was like, I want to give a pen, but it looks weak, I'm going to say not, and I want to check that I'm making the right decision. And I think just getting that certainty, and then the use of VAR better, it's not going to take too much time. Hopefully the sort of Premier League will get used to how to use it. It's going to be doing very well in the World Cup so far, I think. And fingers crossed, we should be okay. It's just going to improve the quality of the game, and I think it's just going to make it more enjoyable and more fair.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is why VAR is going to be implemented in the next few years, and that is why it's going to be a success. So, for all you VAR haters, have a listen to this, But of course, I can understand the reasons for and against VAR. So, I think we've talked about for and against before, so we won't go into too depth, but we'll just talk about how it's being used at the World Cup. Anyways, on to our next topic, which is Messi and Ronaldo. So, of course, we started with the fact at the start of the show about Heskey scoring more knockout goals than Messi and Ronaldo combined. And now we find ourselves in a position where Messi and Ronaldo, with Argentina and Portugal respectively, are now out of the World Cup. And I just want to get your reaction on that, Jake.
Yeah, well, I'm very, very shocked, to say the least, at the moment. Did not expect both of them to go. I actually thought, we talked about Uruguay earlier being so very good, but I did actually think that Portugal would beat them. So that was a bit of a shock, and sort of Ronaldo didn't quite take sort of the front lead of that team and help them sort of get that victory that they did need. But I think this year, although we've had the games when sort of Ronaldo did basically make Portugal in the game and get that draw, it's been very team performances that sort of helped.
Yeah.
And it's not really been that main man. So even though, yes, I know Harry Kane's got many goals in both his games, but it's not all been Kane. Like Lingard's got a good goal. You know, John Stone's got a couple of good goals. Trippier putting really good crosses in. It's a whole team performance. So England have done well as a team. And I think when you look at Uruguay, they've got quality spread around the different areas of the pitch, and they've done very well with it. And sort of the likes of even though Germany went out and they sort of got mixed qualities, those big players haven't showed up. But it seems in all the other teams they don't have those big players, but they've got these little players, and together that sort of works out well. And I think the classic example was literally today, the Russia-Spain game, where you've got big names who don't turn up for Spain, and that sort of togetherness and really sort of work, ethos in a way is sort of like so apparent across the whole Russian team. They work so hard together. They got that win eventually, because I think they deserve the 90 minutes, and the extra time as well. I don't think Spain played very well, but yeah, I think going back to sort of the Messi Ronaldo thing, I think it's just sort of shown that you may have a really amazing world-class player, but you've got to have not necessarily quality around the pitch, but just sort of, I don't know what the word is for it. It's not
team
sort
spirit,
of commitment.
Yeah,
it's team spirit and togetherness and cohesion among the team, that people are battling out for these draws.
Yeah.
And when they battle back to the win, like I've not seen a game where I've gone, wow, that team really deserved to win it. I don't know how they did. Like, I've not seen a game like that so far. I've seen teams winning games through just, and drawing games through just, and losing games through just as well. And like some teams have been unlucky, like Senegal going out on fair play, but it's been that togetherness and team spirit, and it just shows you you don't need a Ronaldo necessarily to win the World Cup. You don't need a Messi either. None of them will win it this year.
Yeah, I think on your point, if you're in a team with Messi or Ronaldo, you can kind of think, oh, I'm not important as a player. Or it's just kind of, it's all Messi, and it kind of takes the limelight off of everyone else and across like the team and puts it onto one player. So like the pressure's on one player, and then all the other players are like, oh, I can do whatever I want almost. And I know that is not the mentality really, but it can factor into a player's mindset in a way, of course. And also with a team like Portugal and Argentina, with players like Messi and Ronaldo, there can be a real habit by both the coach and the players just to get the ball to them, and that's the tactic. And that's not good necessarily, because they might not be in the best position to do anything with the ball. They might have all the talent, they won't have the movement because they just give them the ball all the time, and that can be really kind of bad. And also with the managers, they don't really want ever to drop these players, so they get stuck in a tactic that they don't really want, because
even if they're playing poorly.
Yeah, exactly. And on that point, like Messi has started. There's all this rumours about Messi managing the team because he's such a big name. Everyone thinks that he's the one leading it, and that's not a good kind of routine to get into. And the only example of maybe having a good player, of a really big player in your team, would maybe be Neymar in Brazil, but that's the only reason that is good for them is because Brazil have so much talent in depth of Neymar's quality almost, whereas Argentina and Portugal don't. So when people like see Neymar on the pitch and want to get the ball to him, they do, but because the players are so good around them, it leaves them in space, so Neymar can perform like pass to them, like Coutinho, who gets maybe marked less because Neymar's the big guy and he's being marked more. So it creates pockets of space. But for Argentina and Portugal, because they don't have the people around those players, they can't find that space that's created from having a big player, and that's why they don't succeed. So, as you said, it's all about team spirit in these kind of World Cups, and you don't see England automatically pass to Kane, do we? Even though that Kane's one of our superstars, it's about the team mentality, and everyone's an equal in that squad, and no one deserves the ball more than the other. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think Southgate sort of drilled that into the English side. I think lots of managers are taking the same approach. A little bit, obviously not like Iceland so much this year, but Iceland sort of in the years as well. That sort of togetherness and team spirit really grinded them through games, and that famous win against England, their biggest ever, and probably our biggest ever defeat as well. Honest.
Yeah, exactly. And I think team spirit is everything. So, on to our last topic of this podcast, and it is England. If you haven't been watching the short podcasts on our channel done by Jake on everything England, you can go check that out. There'll be a link in the description to all 3 of the videos on England so far, and there might be one out tomorrow on a preview to Colombia, or the day after, depending on when you're watching this. But yes, let's talk England, Jake.
Yes. Big topic, favourite topic, enjoy talking about it a lot. I think with England, look, sort of run it through. Some people going, you know what, it's been easy. You know, we played Tunisia, we've got big 2 wins. Fair enough, some people say it. Then they're going, oh, look, you face Belgium and you've lost. You know, you're not as good as you think. You're getting too big for your boots, some would say. But
all right, Storm.
B team. Yeah, that's what I get later. B team that we played, B team that Belgium played. You know, both teams weren't that bothered about winning the game so much that obviously they thought. Because Southgate, I've listened to him as well. He basically saying, you know what, it's so important we win that knockout group thing. We haven't won it for like 12 years or something. We haven't won a knockout game. That's a lot. Think back how many Euros and World Cup that is. It's a lot of games. 6. You know. So, no. Not till 2008, but yeah, 6 major tournaments we've not won. As a Poland, that's really poor for England.
Yeah,
so,
for a big nation.
It's such a big task for us. He thought, you know what, we're through. I don't care if we come 3rd or 2nd. I'm resting Harry Kane. I'm resting Trippier. I'm going to rest Henderson. I'm going to rest Ali and Lingard. I know Ali might have a little knock, but he's gone. You know, he's playing very sensible. And he's got getting priority straight. And I think we're really hoping that when we do play Colombia, we will win. I do think we will win, and I do think we will win it in the quarterfinal. And I do think it's something different. I know people are like, I'll take every game as it is, which I do think Southgate is doing, and we are going to do. But when it comes to sort of this important, and we are playing different. We are not playing. We're playing different to how we usually play. We're playing more exciting. We've got a young team, not much experience. You know, it's working well. And I do really think we're going to get far in this World Cup, and I can see us in the semi-final. Right now, I can't see us in the final. That Colombia game's got to be good, it's got to be convincing, and then I can see us there. Because I think if we can beat Colombia, I know they're a good team, and they haven't played that well in the World Cup, but just winning a knockout stage, groups game, I think could be very important. And it could have so much sort of emphasis, and if we win, it's going to be incredible to win that game. We haven't done it in so long, so it's so interesting. A lot. I want to hear your thoughts as well, because I know lots of people have different opinions on how well England are doing, sort of thing. Like, can you see why Southgate rested the players, and do you agree, more importantly, with that? Because I know a lot of people are quite split on how they think about Southgate. Some people think, you know what, we don't want to lose that momentum by losing that game, you know? Because after the game, I did feel a bit, I was like, we lost, great. I was like, a bit down, but then I was like, oh, we have gone through. It just felt different, you know? We hadn't won. I'm like, what do you think about it, Sam?
It's coming home.
End the podcast now. We're done.
We're done. No, I think you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you hadn't arrested the team and we had lost the match, everyone would be like, oh, you should have rested the players, blah, 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 blah. But if we had rested the players and we lost like we did, he would have still got the answers like, oh, you should have maybe not rested the players. So he can't win in that situation, Southgate. No. But I think he was right too. We're already through the draw into the last 16. I think Belgium did the same, and we don't see Martinez being kind of told off. I mean, I know that's because they won, but so we played a weakened side. The team can only grow with that defeat, and they can only find out their weaknesses from being defeated by a big team. And hopefully that defeat will make them look at themselves and think, wait a minute. This is not what we're doing. This is what we're doing well, and this is not what we're doing well. This is what works. This is what doesn't work. This combination of players works. This doesn't. Like, I think especially like Vardy and Rashford don't work. Don't work.
It's sort of like part in, but I just want to add. You know, when it's good to lose to a big team on a big stage at a World Cup, when it doesn't matter the result of it, but it's good to learn. Like defeats are great for working out, and it's so obvious what went wrong because you can pinpoint it instantly. When you win, it's very hard to see improvements because there aren't many points in the game and you obviously go, yeah, that obviously didn't work. But with the loss to Belgium, although it doesn't really matter, we now know when we play big teams how they might play or where our weaknesses are, and I think Southgate will work on that.
I think you're exactly right. I think with this squad, they've got the right mentality to look at the game and to not be too downhearted by it. They know that they can perform. They've performed in friendlies against Brazil and Spain, and they didn't perform badly against Belgium, and they can use this to their advantage. Now, if this was like the first game of the World Cup, I would think a bit differently because it might hurt morale. But seeing that it's the last game and it doesn't mean a lot, it's okay because the players already know they're through. They already know their abilities, and it can only help. So it's coming home, Jake.
It is.
And also, if we beat Colombia, I think we could beat anyone because Colombia are a really good side. They're a side that I think England traditionally would lose to because they've got a lot of flair players. They're tricky. It's not kind of your classic European team that you're going to face. So I think if we can beat Colombia, my confidence would go skyrocket. But yeah, it's coming home.
Yes, and sorry to cut you in. Just watching the Denmark-Croatia game, and Croatia have just got a
penalty.
I think they just got a penalty. It was a one-on-one chance. He went round Schmeichel, and then a centre-back, it might have been Jurgensen, he just sort of gone in, and he's just basically taken him out. He's got the ball with it, so it does look a bit dodgy. I think Schmeichel's calling for it to go to the VAR to watch it again. Yeah, go for the keeper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't get the ball, but they're gonna. I think just look at the replay now. No, he doesn't get it. It should be a red card and a penalty. Interesting to see what it is. It should be. This also affects England. Convenient timing, as we're talking about England right now, because obviously who we play in the semi-final will either be Russia, and then the winner of this, Croatia or Denmark. So if Croatia do score here, then there you go. That's one of the teams we could end up playing if we can get so far. If we do beat Colombia, I think it just inspires confidence. And how amazing would it be to get to a semi-final or to even win against Colombia? I think everyone's going to love it.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing no matter what, and I'm really looking forward to the Colombia match. But yeah, is it still being given, the Croatia penalty?
Yeah, it's been given. I think that just the Denmark players are just sort of crowding around, and they're like, look at the VAR, things like that.
Just symbol, TV.
Yeah,
I'm going to start doing that in my everyday life.
Now is about to take. Yeah. Something happened to get tripped up. Oh,
VAR. Do the TV symbol. So might as well wait before we move on to our last kind of little thing to see if Croatia can score this. I feel bad for Slavan Bilic on ITV I feel good for Slavan because I've been enjoying Slavan's kind of punditry.
Save!
No way!
God, his dad's going mental in the stands. Saved it. He's so happy that he's holding on to that. Modric, he just walked away. He doesn't know what to do.
Oh my gosh!
Jesus!
Whoa!
Kasper Schmeichel saved
a penalty
against Modric in the World Cup in the 26th minute of added time.
Gosh.
To keep their country in it.
This is Russia 2018, people.
Yes, brought to you live by the commentary box.
This is why we love football and the World Cup.
Exactly.
Anyways, to all but wrap up our podcast today, I'm going to look at our predictions that we made in our last episode, just who we think is going to win it. So you said Brazil are going to win it. Do you want to change this prediction, or are you sticking with your guns?
I'm going to stick with them, because I think Brazil, even though they haven't done a major stage, they still haven't lost yet. And I know they say it for the last minute, but I'm hoping for my prediction's sake, they're going to get a decent comfortable winning against Mexico, and they're going to start to get back in their rhythm.
Yeah.
And France have shown that today. Let's just say France are the second choice in the final. But no, I'm going to stick with Brazil. Stick with my gut.
I think I'm going to stick with my gut as well. I went for Brazil. I think we definitely haven't seen the most of this Brazilian squad yet, because there's a lot more to come, I think, and they haven't been showing it. So I'm going to stick with Brazil.
100%. And have you actually noticed that they've changed the ball they're using now in the round 16? They're using sort of a pattern red rather than the black.
Yeah, is it? Do you know if it's the same ball design, like the proper
Yeah, same ball design. They just changed it. No idea what. Cup, Euros, any sort of history. I've never seen that before. Very interesting.
It's interesting, but yeah. Anyways, on that note, I think me and Jake will probably go watch most likely penalties in the Croatia-Denmark game, and everyone listening now will probably be enjoying the World Cup tomorrow. So enjoy the World Cup. I hope you've enjoyed listening to it. Listen to our podcast today. We certainly have enjoyed recording it. It's been very, very entertaining. Any last things to note, Jake?
I just think keep watching the World Cup. I think it's awesome. It's not going to last long. Keep watching for it, and more importantly, coming home, Sam.
It's coming home. And on that note, goodbye.
Goodbye.